We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Due to the fact that the clerk is not here today, Trustee Zupan has been gracious to fill in for her today, so she will be calling the roll.
Trustee Brewer? Here. Carter?
Here.
Todd?
Here.
Tates?
Yes.
Grant? Here. Zupan? Here.
Okay. Item number 4, the approval of the minutes. I'll accept the motion for the approval of the special meeting minutes. I think they were revised. So there's a revised copy for December 4th. And I'll accept the motion to accept those.
So moved.
Seconded.
It was moved by Trustee Zupan, second by Trustee Carter. Any questions?
I'm sorry, I'm just going to go down the line tonight. Todd?
Yes.
Brewer? Yes. Tates?
No.
Carter?
Yes.
Zupan? Grant? Yes.
Motion is carried. I'll accept the motion for the approval of the regular board meeting dated January the 8th, 2019, also a revised copy.
Motion.
Second.
It was moved by Trustee Carter and second by Trustee Grant. Any questions? Madam Trustee?
Todd?
Yes.
Brewer? Yes. Tates?
No.
Carter?
Yes.
Zupan? Yes. Grant? Yes.
Motion is carried. Okay, public comments. We have someone taking the time. Everyone has, all questions and comments will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to the business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate, counter rebuttals, or replies. And I will answer all the comments at the end of the presentation of the comments from the people. Step up, please, say your name.
Judy Castier. I wanted to comment on the situation about the pit bull that's been running around on 221st Street and the lack of getting anything done about it. I think that if that pit bull was running up on your porch or snapping at you or showing the teeth and lunging at you, things would have been done a long time ago. I think the fact that tickets have been given and the thought is we'll never see that money, so don't even worry about it, is a poor attitude to take. And I feel that if things were done differently, the police would have shot that dog a long time ago. It's been done before. I know you don't like doing that, you don't want to do that, but when people tell you that their dog is mean, it has no business running our streets. Our police need to take a stand on that dog, and I feel they're being held back. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going, when I go to that lady's house, and I get out of my car, if that dog is ever there and starts lunging at me, I cannot run. I cannot get away from it. I will shoot it. And if I get a ticket for discharging a firearm within the city limits, that's fine. Because I'd like to tell the judge exactly why and show him some of the tapes and situation that has been dealt with that dog. Because it's ongoing. It doesn't stop. the lady's going to give the dog to a family member. She said that last summer. The dog's still here. So she said it again.
1 minute.
She said it again. Did we find out when are you going to give it to your family member? Or give her a final date? It must be gone by this date? No. Did anybody check to see if the lady has a dog license? No. This whole situation has been handled poorly, and I personally feel that the reason it's handled poorly is because of who has had to complain. And she is no more able to run from that animal than I am. And it's wrong. And it needs to be dealt with very strongly. And that's not happening. So I'm letting you know now, if I go over there and that dog's around when I get out of the car, I'm shooting it.
Pat Couch. I am the person that dog has come after numerous times now, and I'm tired of it. But I am a little upset and angry that our chief isn't here because I really would like this town to know what I was told when he called me this week. First time he's called me, by the way. It seems that, thank you, Ms. Cass, that the dog is supposed to be given to a family member or relative, but nobody knows when, if, or where that's going to take place. So when I asked the chief today, when he called me, I said, when are we going to see the fines, or what are you going to do about the over $4,000 worth of fines that this individual has? And he said, well, you know how those people are. They'll probably never pay those fines. I said, really? That's the attitude we're going to have? Those people don't pay their fines? Then why are we having our police officers go out and issue tickets if they're not going to force those people to pay their fines? You might as well have them washing cars. And yes, that dog was still there earlier this week. So are we checking to see if it's going to be gone? I have not a clue. But somebody is going to get hurt, and when they do, I'm going to give them your name. Thank you.
Rose Ketchum. I'm just here to say that Bluegrass will not be in session until April 14th due to illness. I know none of you are interested because it's not even reported when they give the senior committee meeting or minutes, but I just wanted it on record. April 14th, possibly it will reopen. Thank you. Heidi Parker. I'm here about your State of the Village Atlas, and I'm wondering why there was no notice anywhere that that's what's going to be happening. There was no e-blast, there was nothing on Facebook, but the night you gave it, it was not on the agenda. However, some people, I guess, knew to come the next night to listen to it then again. Do you feel this lack of respect for the residents is appropriate? The second thing I would like to talk about is, do you agree that the committee meetings are a vehicle for the mayor and the trustees to discuss upcoming business and concerns, and that in light of this, discussion among the board and the mayor should be encouraged? With that in mind, how can you forbid a trustee to engage in discussion on a topic she brought forth? Your action at last week's meeting is especially surprising, since as a trustee, you stood on your soapbox for 30 minutes or longer, talking to no one in particular, and not giving up the floor, repeating yourself again and again. I sincerely hope that being reminded of your past action will effect a change. Thank you.
My name is Bernadine Hopkins. I haven't been to the meetings in a while, but I've been noticing around the village that well, to put it in a nutshell, Mayor Burgess, I feel like you sort of pander to the businesses, and the businesses are really not holding up their end. Excuse me. They're not keeping the areas clean. Different foods, I mean, let's say gloves, hairnets, things of that nature, they're not even being served in a sanitary manner. McDonald's is filthy, okay? It's filthy, and as far as, you sort of get your money from the residents, and I get that, but maybe you should have some requirements for these businesses to maintain sanitary and reasonable conditions for the residents. I see garbage everywhere. There's no garbage cans out in front of any of these businesses so that we could throw our garbage in them rather than on the ground. You've got debris everywhere. Customer service is like null and void. And I think that's because the way that the businesses are being brought here, it seems like you're sort of kissing their butts and they expect us to do the same. And I think that's wrong. You may need to readjust that, or at least keep an eye on what's going on around here. Because it's really bad. It's really bad. So I hope you have something in your, what is it, moving forward thing that includes us and some respect for us, the residents, and that's all I have to say.
My name is Frank Williams, 1633 216 Place. First of all, on March the 25th at Crossroads Church, we're having a South Suburban Coalition Youth on Violence. So I would like for everybody in here, if possible, to attend to it. It's a very good thing. We was at one last night. It's a very interesting thing that we talk to the kids about youth and different gangs and things what's coming up. Now, thank you the other day for getting the paperwork out to me. Now I'm going to ask you another favor. Derek, I'm going to ask you another favor. The dog they're talking about, will you please get somebody over there to see about that dog before you bite one of them? That don't make no reason, but we as a village cannot move that dog or get that dog out of the way before we bite one of those people. It don't make sense for you to do that. Thank you.
Hi, Debbie Williams. I approach you once again in the most respectful way I know possible, and all I ask is the same respect. Mr. Mayor and Board, Sauk Village, Illinois Facebook page is ridiculous, and you all know it. And the fact that they go out there and they slander residents, not to mention people who are running for elected office, and lie about them, and actually speak kindly of the people running on the mayor's ticket. If I was running on the mayor's ticket and that page endorsed me, I'd tell them to take me off, because it's totally disrespectful, and they lie. Second thing, my FOIA, still not answered. I guess there's something about providing the accounts payable that you just don't want to do. Board, if the mayor won't tell the FOIA clerk to provide the information, don't you all think the resident is entitled to that information? Since August of 2018, I've been asking for the accounts payable bid for a financial audit when you won't provide financial information to your residents. The second FOIA that needed a 5-day extension, they sent it to me, I can't open it. The third FOIA, not responded to. And Sauk Village, Illinois says that we bully the mayor and the board. I am not bullying anybody. I'm just asking for what is rightfully mine. And I've asked, and I've asked, and I've asked, and I still haven't gotten it. I give respect. I have never disrespected anyone up there, anyone there, or anyone there, because I have God in my life, and I don't disrespect. And all I ask is the same thing back. And we just can't get it. Why can't we just get along and work together? I guarantee you, this village would be so much better if we would drop the hate, drop the division, and start working together.
1 minute.
Thank you. I broke bread how many times at your table? You broke bread how many times at my table? We worked together very well until the division and the hate came to Sauk Village. And Facebook, social media, how can any of you sit there and go to bed at night knowing that that page run by people who work with you destroy other people? How can you do it? How can you go to bed at night? That's right. How can you go to bed at night? But you know what? I put my head on the pillow and I can sleep just fine. Because every day since I've moved to Sauk Village, I have been a worthwhile resident working for the residents and my family. Thank you.
Mary Escovedo. I'm here to talk about social media as well. Again, you were given an and you all aren't even listening to it or whatever. And then we have to listen to what Joe Rizawadi and your wife and all them write on social media. So since you all want to talk about social media, I'll talk with you. So on social media, I've seen and people have told me that people are really happy at what you're doing. Well, that's not what I've heard, so I wanted to enlighten you as to what I've heard. So I've heard that people don't want to come up here because they are sick of the lies. They are tired of you disrespecting one of the trustees, as you always do, and the other trustees that vote your way, because that's the way you told them to vote. Also, you are very arrogant. You just don't speak. You walk around like you own something, like you own the village, and again, you forget that the residents put you there, and as well as some of you trustees. And for those that were not, again, you were put in there by Derek because he knew and told you to vote the way he wants you to vote. And again, you're very rude and arrogant. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess that's all. In regard to the pet bull, or the pit bull, I'm sorry to hear that you see a dog, you would shoot it, but, you know, the dog is, only thing I can tell you is I've talked to the chief about the dog. The chief has told me that he's going to try to, he knocked on people's door. If the dog is not out there doing something, this cannot, just like anybody else, I can come up and tell someone that you've done X, Y, and Z. And they're not going to arrest you because of what I said unless I'm going to press charges or whatever. Well, a dog can't talk. The only thing I can say is I'm hoping that's an ongoing thing, and he reached out to the person about it, as far as the individual that said they have a problem with the dog. That's the only thing I've heard so far. I don't condone police shooting anybody. I don't condone another person shooting something else, because you may not aim correctly. Now you shoot somebody else and you forgot to shoot. That's how drive-bys happen. So I'm hoping that we can look into this matter a little deeply, more deeply, and try to see if we can come up with another solution. Yes, we have been given tickets. I don't know where that was said that the chief said these people won't pay. I never heard that, but that's what was said, so I can only question that particular thing. I do know that that family was given numerous citations. I will find out tomorrow. She's not here today. I'll find out tomorrow the status of that, and have the chief give you a call back and let you know what's going on. As far as the business after hours, that's been posted, and it's been, that was disseminated numerous times. So I also saw something that someone put out that they didn't know that there was going to be a truck stop right there on 394 and Sauk Trail. So maybe that's the same posting or the same whatever, but that's been posted also, but it was also stated that without a certain person, the village never would have knew that there was anything going over there. So only thing I can do is, I can't make a person read, I can put it out there, and that has been publicized for quite a while, that we were having a business after hours. All the trustees knew about it, and all the employees knew about it that work for the village about the after hours. So I don't understand how the residents didn't know, but maybe it's because you just didn't, I don't know. At committee meetings, at any meeting, if someone is unruly or whatever, what else do you do? Just keep having to keep going on and on? No. If I ask to let's discontinue this, and if it gets out of hand, it gets argumentative, yes, I will stop that. And when I was a trustee, I would stop. Because if I got argumentative, I would stop and told that, you know, and I adhere to that. So just because a person is saying something back for doesn't mean that that is proper the way it should be. We have a meeting, we have a discussion. If I usually ask anyone that presents something, are you through? Before I say anything. If they say they're through, then I think they're through, then they're through. But if they're going to rebut, if I say something and they're not through, then that's where the argument comes back and forth. And basically that's what happened. If you were here, you saw that. And that's how it got out of hand, back and forth, and I just said, okay, let's move on, because this is not getting anywhere. As far as the businesses not being kept clean, businesses that handle food, I would suggest, because I've done it, just call the health department. The health department has more say, so we can't shut a person down because of health, because we don't have the vehicles to make sure that their product is healthy, or if it's not outdated, but the health department can't do that. So if you feel that one of the businesses are not healthy, or the food that they're serving is substandard, then yes, call the health department. As far as the businesses having paper and stuff outside, yes, they get cited. You may not think they do, but yes, they do. Code goes around and gives them citations for having paper in their parking lots, or not in the proper containers and flying everywhere. So yes, they do get cited for that. Again, I do not respond to social media. I've always said I don't, so that's nothing but a sinkhole as far as I'm concerned. That being said, we move on to the next item. The mayor's report. Okay, I have several things. The first thing I have is I got a notification from Local 134 International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. They're having a registration for communication programs for jobs, and it's going to be at their institution, which is 6201 West 115th Street. This is how they vet people, how to get people to get started in the apprenticeship programs. They do this once a year, and you have to apply, you have to register. I have some of the forms here. I have them placed in the back, and it's on Monday, March 4th through Friday, March 15th from 9 to 11. All you need is a valid driver's license, and it says your original Social Security card. I would just say bring the bring the original. In other words, bring the Social Security card, not something that is on something else. Bring the Social Security card itself. And it's a way to get into the school, and they accept it through this means to become a electrician. So if anyone would like to apply for that. I have the paperwork here for that. And after the meeting, you can just come up and there's no problem giving one away. Sure. Okay, the next thing I have, everybody's probably wondering why we have our guys in blue here. I have a proclamation that I would like to present, and this proclamation is to Mr. Eamon Darnell. And I will read it as follows. Is to recognize Mr. Eamon Darnell for 45 years of exemplary service to the people of the village of Sauk Village and the Sauk Village Emergency Management Agency. Whereas Eamon Darnell began his distinguished career with the Sauk Village Civil Defense in 1971, which became the Emergency Services and Disaster Agency in September 28, 1976, and again on June 25th, 2013, became Sauk Village's Emergency Management Agency. Whereas Darnell was an outstanding firefighter and was promoted to the lieutenant October 19, 1970. Darnell continued his service alongside previous directors, Charlie Collins, Patrick Maloney, and Art Johnson, and some very dedicated men and women. Whereas Darnell served the people of Sauk Village for 45 years, responding to and assisting police, fire, and other agencies on countless calls. Whereas throughout Darnell's career, he rose through the ranks, and upon his retirement in June 28, 2016, he served as interim director of the Emergency Management Department. Darnell, throughout his 45 years, has proudly served the people of Sauk Village and has done so with dedication and distinction. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor and the board of trustees of the village of Sauk Village, Cook County, that we recognize the 45 years of exemplary service to the Sauk Village Emergency Management Agency and to the people of Sauk Village that Eamon Darnell has provided, and be it further proclaimed that the village board recognizes the dedication and commitment that Eamon Darnell has put forth his 45 years of service, serving the community and residents of Sauk Village. And be it further proclaimed that Sauk Village is hereby requested to distribute a certified copy of this proclamation to Eamon Darnell, and that it be spread upon the records of the village of Sauk Village, dated this day at Sauk Village, Illinois, 26th of February, 2019. Mr. Darnell. This next presentation, I'm kind of thinking it was supposed to be a surprise, but I think somehow or another the surprise got out. I don't know how it did, but it got out, and I'm proud to say that I'm able to do this for this gentleman. This is another mayoral proclamation, and it's to recognize Mr. Alan Stoffrager for 50 years of exemplary service. To the people of Sauk Village and the Sauk Village Fire Department. Whereas Al Stoffrager began his distinguished career with the Sauk Village Fire Department on March 8, 1969. After moving to Sauk Village, and continues in this position today as fire chief. Mr. Stoffrager worked at the time at the Ford Motor Company stamping plant, where he worked for 42.5 years before retiring. Whereas Staff Reagan was an outstanding firefighter and was promoted to lieutenant on October 19, 1970. Mr. Staff Reagan continued his education in the fire service and earned his fire instructor certification, was an emergency medical technician, and taught many classes to the men and women who served Sauk Village as firefighters, helping them to receive their certifications. Whereas Staff Reagan continued to show his leadership ability and was promoted to captain on May 25, 1976, and at that time was given command of the Fire Prevention Bureau and handled fire inspections and public education. Staff Reagan was promoted to assistant chief on October 23, 1979, and served as such until his promotion to deputy chief November 1, 1992, and finally fire chief October 13, 2009. Staff Reagan answered the call of service in 2012, serving a short period of time in a dual role of police and fire chief. Whereas throughout one's career in the fire service, there are good and rewarding experiences for some that leave an indelible mark. Staff Reagan was no different, as he remembers two such events as the worst experience during his time as a firefighter. When on May 19, 1989, a mother and 5 of her children perished in a house fire, and again July 29, 1990, when 2 more children perished. Out of these tragic events, Sauk Village did move forward with the passage of the 911 referendum in 1990, thanks to the support of the Sauk Village Fire Department. Whereas Staff Reagan said that the best experience with the department has been involved with the fire prevention education. There is no substitute for fire safety. People have to make sure that they have working smoke detectors in their homes and have an escape plan, Staff Reagan has said. Whereas Staff Reagan has been married to his wife, Arlene, has 6 children and the proud grandfather of many grandchildren. They live in various cities across the country. Staff Reagan has been married to his wife, Arlene, for 18 years. They both enjoy camping, where you'll find them most weekends during the summer. Whereas Staff Reagan, throughout his 50 years, has proudly served 7 of the Sauk Village's 8 mayors through the tenures of 3 fire chiefs: Leroy Hawkins, 1969 and 1992, Travis Thornhill, 1992 to 2002, and Chris Sewell from 2002 to 2009. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Sauk Village in Cook County that we recognize the 50 years of exemplary service to the Sauk Village Fire Department and to the people of Sauk Village that Alan Staff Reagan has provided. And be it further proclaimed that the village recognizes the dedication and commitment that Alan Staff Reagan has put forth during his 50 years serving the community and residents of Sauk Village. And be it further proclaimed that the village clerk is hereby requested to distribute a certified copy of this proclamation to Alan Staff Reagan, and that it be spread upon the records of the village of Sauk Village, dated at Sauk Village, Illinois, 26th of February, 2019. meeting is over with, I think there's cake over in the senior center, so. Hopefully we won't be here that long, the cake won't be expired. Okay, reports of officers?
I have a clerk's report.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Clerk's report.
So the clerk extends her apologies for not being here this evening and asked that I read her report in her absence. She attended a community partnership committee yesterday where the following were discussed, and I believe, Trustee Carter, you indicated you also attended that, so I'll let you add whatever you care to at your appropriate time. Student Government Day was discussed. It will be April 23rd. It's extremely important for all trustees, officers, and department heads to provide a report by Wednesday, April 17th, to share with their student counterparts so that a script can be presented to the student participants by April 19th. 7th and 8th grade dance, the committee continues to plan this event. It is for all students in that grade category, regardless of which school they attend. Emergency weather shelter. A subcommittee was established to research entities who have generators who are willing to host residents and to provide public safety to residents who may need shelter during extreme weather conditions. The committee will explore modes of communication to inform residents and seek grants to purchase needed cots. U.S. Census. The 2020 census has been mentioned in the past. I attended a 4-hour training yesterday, or today I guess that is, for which a ramped up initiative is underway. I wish to be included on the next committee meeting agenda for so that's next Tuesday, for consideration to develop a resolution to conduct a swearing in of all subcommittee volunteer leaders. Additionally, there's a need to encourage residents to go up to the Census 2020 website to apply for the jobs listed. It is their desire to hire our residents to go door to door to collect data and to serve in other capacities aside from walking. They pay over minimum wage, and they truly think unemployed and retired individuals would be most interested. She will post the positions available on the Sauk Village website and on the Sauk Village e-news site as well. Code Red, the mayor was sent the agreement for the village to provide this system to the residents, and according to the mayor, it was sent to the attorney for review, which was as discussed at last week's meeting. Once reviewed, the mayor will put it on the approval for the board, so that's why it's not on tonight's agenda. We expect it'll probably be on the next board's agenda, and that concludes her report for this evening. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Village Engineer, Mr. Giazar.
Thank you, Mayor. We are in the midst of preparing a CDBG application for funding next year's roadway improvements program. The application is due at the end of March. The county typically informs us in August if the village is awarded the grant, so fingers crossed. And then lastly, our work continues on the design of this year's MFT CDBG roadway improvements program. We are targeting to have this project ready to bid by late spring or early summer. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Treasurer report, Mr. Anthony Finch.
Thank you, Mayor, and the trustees. As I mentioned last Tuesday, I'm holding off on the treasury report until I get my hands more wrapped around the finances, but I do have an update from what we discussed last Tuesday. Within the next 3 weeks, we should be getting the audit. I spoke with the auditors a few days ago, so that should be done, and then we can sit down and talk to them about the finances of the village. Also, I've started the process of working on the water reconciliation, which includes analyzing the meter readings and then preparing the updated list, shut-off list, and pursuing those residents that are on the shutout list from past months. In addition, I'm working with Republic to reconcile the garbage collection. We're in the process of auditing all the bills. With respect to accounts payable invoices, I'm in the process of reviewing the staff, the training and their processes, and make sure we have appropriate processes and procedures in place so that we can hold ourselves accountable to the AP invoices. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report or any reports to turn in, so that concludes my information.
Thank you. Does that include the next report of departments, finance administration? Does that include that too?
Wait, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm not sure if Mr. Finch will be here for accounts payable, so I just want to ask now. And I guess, Kevin, this kind of goes along with you as well. On the accounts payable for tonight, I do see some invoices that on the accounts payable for S&K Security for the year 2016. I just want to know, I mean, those are 3 years old. Like, I mean, is there a reason why they're being paid now after 3 years?
Last information that I received, it was from the last finance person that said all this was brought up to date. All of our bills were paid to date. This is the first time I've seen this, and so when I got this, I went through it, started going through all mine, and noticed that there was some outstandings and no reason for why they wouldn't have been paid, because I haven't recoded anything, they wouldn't turned in. So I'm not sure why they took so long to even be brought to this accounts payable. Should have been done, obviously, a few years ago.
Okay, can we talk about that later?
Sure.
All right.
I'm sorry. Mr. Finch, I noticed down here that you changed the format a bit when they did that accounts payable. The line item is generally is at the bottom now. Change the way the format.
That was changed from Civic doing the upgrade. It's nothing that I personally went in and changed. Again, to be candid, I don't like this report. So I have to work with Civic to make sure that I understand why they changed it. Ideally, I want a more simplified report to show you exactly what invoice are getting paid. I think this is more convoluted and it creates unnecessary confusion. So no, I did not change the report, but in my personal opinion, I think it could be more simplified.
Okay. Fire Department, Chief Al Stopper.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Let me set something straight real quick. I had a clue, or I was told to come down here tonight to honor Mr. Darnell. And that was the end of that story. Where I sort of got a feeling about this is my wife was getting dressed. Well, I thought maybe she was going out for the evening with the girls. Payback. No, I love her every bit. I was surprised my son from Indy came up, and that was a big surprise. The daughter-in-law and them came out of Addison, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
And
I mean,
their children.
That's daddy from all that.
All right, let me give my reports. For the last 3-week period, February 7th through the 21st, Fire Department responded to 21 calls. There were no major events until last Sunday when we had the truck fire over Minority. With this changing weather, please be careful driving and walking. Ice can form very quickly, and we don't want anyone to get hurt. I looked at the news tonight, and it looks like we got another 2 weeks of this junk. So, that ends my report, Mayor.
Okay. I'm going to read the police report. Usually I would have Trustee Zupan, but she's doing double duty. So the report reads as follows. Board meeting report dated 2/26/2019 for a period from the period of February 13th through February 26th. The police department had.
He usually just says it.
Okay. All right, well, we'll take that off. Take both
Talk
of them.
about the roundtable discussion.
Yes, I will. The roundtable discussion on 2/20/2019, Chief White attended a roundtable discussion that was sponsored by Congresswoman Robin Kelly at the Mattison Village Hall, 4900 Village Commons. Also in attendance were the police chiefs from Calumet City, Dixmoor, Hazel Crest, South Chicago Heights, Olympia Fields, Thornton, Moline, Matheson, Homewood, Flossmoor, Orland Park. The 2-hour-long discussion touched on numerous topics, including federal resources for smaller communities, reducing gun violence, and addressing repeat juvenile offenders committing violent crimes. That's the end of his report. Okay. Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Allen Maverick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Board of Trustees. From the time period of February 12th to the 25th, EMA responded to 14 calls of service. We had 1 accident, 1 gas in a building, 5 fire alarms, 1 oven fire, 1 car fire, 1 search for a missing person when the person was found safe and sound, 2 CO alarms, 1 semi-truck fire, 1 tree in the roadway blocking the traffic. On February 25th, with Trustee Carter and Clerk Marva Campbell-Pruitt, I attended the community partnership meeting at the school district board office. Looking forward to working with them guys in the upcoming events that they got coming on. March 4th, Sauk Village EMA will be attending a pipeline training class sponsored by Paragon. Liaison services held in Alsip, Illinois. And on March 14th, Sauk Village EMA will be attending our monthly SMART meeting, will be hosted by CREEP. And this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Director Kevin Weller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A few items here. The Public Works staff is going to be working on a damaged fire hydrant located at 1771 223rd Place. It appears it was backed into years ago. It's leaking. We're placing the fire hydrant, the main valve, and the T. There will be a boil order issued in the area for all affected residents, and as the boil order will be lifted, it will be lifted to each resident that was given a boil order notice. Staff has also had 2 snow events since last reported. Both of these were salting events. This year's salt supplies is in good shape, but it seems like the deliveries are coming a little slow. We did get 200 of our 400 tons received so far, and we're waiting on 100 ton right now for that'll make 300 of it received. So if we don't receive it in about 5 days, we'll make a call down and see what's going on. The lift truck for some of the things we have to do, street lighting, tree trimming, Christmas tree removal, and other things is back. We had to have it certified and some repairs done it. We are slowly going into some of the jobs where that were backed up. Small jobs still being done at the Village Hall here we have some issues with some HVAC units up here. We have some lighting issues and just general maintenance on some of the equipment that is starting to get some age. And as I said, the Christmas tree is down for anybody who wants to know. Staff is preparing also for some streetlights I reported probably a month ago. This is also a lift truck usable tool. 217th Street in Merrill, there's an arm that blew off with the light head during a storm. We'll be replacing that and putting that one back into service. Also at 215 Place in Jeffrey, we have a damaged streetlight. The lens is broke out, but the bulb is damaged, and that will be a replacement head on that one. And we will also be putting the truck into some other service areas from some plants for some tree limbs up in the trees. Both of the Explorers that we purchased through our wish list from the Fire Department and Public Works were both picked up. We are still waiting on a budgeted item, which is our water customer service van. That should arrive in about 2 weeks. Also, Public Works had ordered a new stump grinder through the wish list also. We have received that. We have started on a couple of the stumps just to get ourselves acclimated to the equipment. We started at 225th and Nichols, and we stumped 3 stumps. It went very well. Nice, easy machine to work with. Also, staff has been called during the wind event we had just recently, up to a 50-mile-an-hour gust. Surprised it's not worse than it is, but we had 3 trees that were knocked down. We were called to the evening to hold and pull them aside, and we made the safe area. The next day we returned, and we cut 3 trees completely down: 3014 224th Street, 1909 223rd Street, and 1813 221st. And the final thing is we have a north side shutoff list. This is an older list, but we will be starting tomorrow, and we'll be proceeding on to start shutting off some of these. The total on this list at this time is 238. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Okay, the Economic Development Director, Mr. White.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Code Enforcement has issued 150 citations for the month of January, with 100 letters that were sent out for inoperable junk autos. These will be coming up in the March court hearings on the first Wednesday of the month. Month to date, as of yesterday, there were 100 citations issued for the month of February. Staff will be begin evaluations on certain properties to determine their condition and ownership. This digs a lot deeper than simply the property maintenance that was done in the past. These evaluations will allow us to have more accurate information on the properties as well. This process is going to take several months to complete. Our new Community and Economic Development Department Assistant has been doing a fantastic job getting acclimated. Many have already met her, but if you have not, please feel free to introduce yourself when you stop in. She is a welcome addition to our staff. I've submitted a request for information to a private firm looking to build a commercial and retail operation here within the village. That was sent out today. We are currently reviewing the contract with Robinson Engineering, who will be working on the logistics center study. Robinson will be doing a brief presentation at the next Committee of the Whole meeting next week with respect to this study and the final outcome of that product as well. Once we get the contract approved through the village board March 12th, then we can proceed with that process as well. Cook County will also be looking over the contract to make sure that it meets their blessing, but no formal action is required by Cook County on that. Sauk Village is currently tracking at about 157 active foreclosures with 106 still in process. The process of tracking these and registered is not doable by the current village staff. Other communities have taken advantage of a vacant property registration program, which provides municipalities with ongoing revenues. We do currently have a vacant home registry, however, it is not, it's not been active, it's not been working. It was implemented back in 2013, and it's really ineffective. This is a new way to proceed with this. This would actually generate about $92,000 in additional revenue per year for the village through this registration. So I'm looking to have this on the agenda as well for next March 5th for our Committee of the Whole meeting, so there'll be 2 presentations plus whatever the village clerk has, I guess, for that meeting already. We'll begin the legal review on the contract before it goes to the board, and that'll be presented to you on March 5th at your Committee of the Whole. Also like to welcome Roots Bamboo Jerk to Sauk Village. They're a new business here in town. They were issued a license at 1715 Sauk Trail, and also Andrea's Pub, which is opened at 2 Surreybrook Plaza, and Sherry's Place at 4 Surreybrook Plaza. Both have been approved by the State of Illinois Gaming Board. That concludes my report, other than to say that if any resident has a complaint with respect to the sanitation or conditions at a food service facility, please provide that information to the Village Hall, and we will follow up with the Cook County Health Inspector. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Okay, reports of trustees, standing committees, and comments. Before you guys leave, like I said, there is cake on the other side for anyone that gets senior. So we're going to continue the meeting. Hopefully there's some cake left after the meeting. Reports of trustees, standing committees, public service committee, trustee Bernadine Brewer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I report is back on what happened last week. Last week we discovered that books have been closed since August the 18th.
We still got a meeting going on, guys.
As I was That tells me they have no idea how much revenue has been in the village since August of 2018. Even though we get the money, we just don't keep account of it. And also during, also during that time, we discovered that the billing summary that we generally get, we're not getting that, so we have no idea what the bottom line is every week that we got in, that we get in, and what's actually in the funds for since May of 2018. Now, the mayor really doesn't want me to speak on these issues because they really don't know what's in there, what's out at the top or either at the bottom. We don't know how much revenue is coming in, and we don't know how much revenue is going out. And this has been verified by the finance director, Finch. There's no ifs, ands about it. So, with that being said, I'd like to let the mayor and the board knows that I'm really tired of this sort of stuff. We were here as trustees to vote to find out where the money is, and we have no idea. None of these trustees can sit up there and tell you they have a good idea of what's going on. So with that being said, I'm going to file suit because I need to know what's going on with the people's money. There's no reason for us not to know. We should have reports, and we haven't gotten any. For us not to have collected reports since August of 2018 is a little ridiculous. And we don't know what the bottom line is within the water department. They said there's no money being transferred, but that's not true. We have gotten in $2.3 million in December, and we only have $600,000. We like to know what's going on in money. Keep in mind, if you have to pay bills, well, we like to know what's going on. What's the bottom line? How much money is in there and what's happened to it? I'm not telling anybody any wrongdoings or anything like that. We just want to know where our money is. And that you can't get any information. Trustees can't get any reports. If they tell you that, I'd like to know where they're at. And with that being said, that's the end of my report.
Budget and Finance Committee Trustee Roger Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My only update is that I did not have a meeting last week, so therefore I will have a committee meeting next month. And just a quick comment on what Trustee Brewer just mentioned. She mentioned that the books haven't been closed since August, and that's not true. The books are closed as of December 31st into 2018. So I just want to make that point. And what happened a couple weeks ago when they were able to give us the report that the treasurer was supposed to report on, and that December versus actuals, so that means the month of December had to be closed in order for him to give us that report. So he was here, he just couldn't provide us details because he was new, but that means that the month was closed through December. I just wanted to make that.
If you could provide us with any details, how would we know that the books were closed?
No.
According to what Judith and Fitch actually sat here and said, the last collector's report he got was August of 2018. So now you're telling me something different? I got that in paper. It's on tape.
So the books have to be closed in order for him to give us a report on the budget versus actuals. He can't give us a report as of December, and August, September, October, November isn't closed. So I don't know where he went, but I'm sure he'll back that up if he comes back in here. That concludes my report.
Is that the end of your report? Housing and Governmental Relations, Trustee Cecil Tate. Ordinance Review Committee, Trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance Review Committee will meet on March 4th, which is Monday, but we're meeting at 11 o'clock in the morning here in the Rotunda. So, Mr. Mayor, you may want to check because we're going to be reviewing one ordinance, but the standing committee. That way we could, because we only meet once a month. Also, I wanted to thank Madam Clerk, Margaret Campbell Pruitt. Codification has been done. So it's been taken care of, it's 2013 through 2018. And when we get ready to do our budget hearing, I'd like to see it put in there that this codification is done every year, so that it's not costing $8,000 and $9,000. It doesn't cost as much if you do it yearly. Also, one of the things, and I realize our treasurer is stepping in and only here a couple of days a week, but we've not seen an aging report, we've not seen billing and usage and cash balance. And so I don't know if he's able to give us that, because I know he's in there learning the system. I realize he's new. Our previous finance director, we were not getting those reports, and I think it's really important that we have them because we're doing we're doing accounts payable. And that ends my report and comment.
As far as the aging report, I will note that and find out when can we get the next one and it can be disseminated to the trustees.
Yeah, there's 3, billing and usage and cash.
Right, in the cash report, absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Public Safety Committee, Trustee Ben Zupan.
Public Safety meeting, or Public Safety Committee will meet next Wednesday, March 6th at 6 p.m. here in the Rotunda. And that concludes my report, and I just want to reiterate that, yes, well, no, I'm going to take that back. That ends my report.
Okay.
No comment.
The, right now is labeled as community outreach, but we're going to present the Board Review Committee with the proper name for that committee, and it will be presented to them. I've been promising this for a while. I've been kind of busy, but I need to get this to Audit Review, the stipulation of what this committee meets under. So, but right now, do you have anything to report under that Parks and Rec? We all know what we're talking about.
Yes, sir, I do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Community Park and Rec, AKA also known as community outreach. Service to the people. The people need planning. We need to do an analysis of the community for resources. We have a reservoir of people, ages. Implementation of the plan, efficiency, and relationship to materials and methods. We finally have a volunteer. And there's 2 things that slows down any motion is volunteers and money. Volunteers and money. To improve public relations, the way of using the facility to its fullest. Once again, what slows things down is absence of volunteers, absence of money. We need to bring more industry into Sauk Village, which will assist us with building a better recreational facility. It's already built, but we need instrumentality inside. Parents need to get involved in charting the future of Sauk Village for their children. Learning starts in the 4 walls at home. We want to facilitate that. When we facilitate that, what we do is we correct the band, the behavior, the attitude, and the motivation, make a more positive approach. Failure of involvement and communication. Lack of coordination and cooperation, that's what we need to get involved in. Coordination and participation. A significant number of facilities and other resources that receive little usage because of the fact that cooperation, participation. And that's my report. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, City Advisory Council, Mr. Farmer had no report. He didn't give me anything, so we will go to unfinished business. I'll accept a motion for the ordinance amending Chapter 6, the alcohol beverage establishments. I'll accept the motion for that.
I'll motion.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Carter, second by Trustee Grant. Any questions?
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
Are we now separated from Crete?
Yes.
Because this ordinance
Yeah, I see it says Will.
should not say Will County. So we may want to correct that. So future ordinances will not reflect Will
This
County.
one it will not put, that will be out of there when it's filed.
Okay,
I'll make sure that's out before it's filed. You're absolutely right.
thank you.
Any other questions? Madam Trustee? Call for it.
Todd?
Yes?
Brewer? Yes. Tates?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Zupan? Yes. Grant?
Yes.
Motion carried. I'll accept the motion for the approval of the accounts payable in the amount of $4,112. $4,112.
400.
$412,024.85.
How much?
Second.
It was moved by trustee Collins, second by trustee Grant. Any questions?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I would like to actually withdraw my second, and hopefully trustee Carter can withdraw his motion, because I would like to remove the 2016 invoices from SNK Security Corporation from the accounts payable. I asked a question earlier of why these invoices from 3 years ago are just not being paid. I think we need to look further into why they're just popping up now, so I'd like to have those removed.
Okay, so who made the motion?
Trustee Carter.
You made the motion second.
I made the second.
So the motion is going to be withdrawn.
To remove all 2016 SNK Security Corporation invoices from the accounts payable.
And also, do you see there's invoices from 2017?
From SNK?
No. Sam's Club, they have, let me see how this, because the way that they've done this accounts payable is really confusing because it's not our normal format.
Correct.
But there, it looks like Sam's Club, there's one from October 27th of 2017, which would have been, it's in the amount of $77.52. Also, even like, well,
I don't understand the refunded by check, so.
yeah, I don't understand that, but even 2017, if our aging report was showing, we should have seen these a long time ago, and all of a sudden they've popped up, so I think there's something wrong with the system. Make sure they didn't pay it, because I'm sure it was already paid.
Right.
Okay, so you want to amend to include,
No, to remove.
I'm sorry, in the motion to include the one for.
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
Yes, for 2017 Sam's Club.
Okay.
Direct. That's on page, it's 5 at the bottom.
But also, do you see 2018, like January of 2018?
Correct. So the Sam's Club Direct, the vendor, the 18 and 17, if we could just have that removed as well.
And the SNK Security.
And SNK Security for 2016.
Okay, so you're making that motion?
Good, yes.
Well, what about 18?
No, that's what I said, Sam's Club Direct. So
No,
for
SNK.
Oh no. Well, for 18,
January of 2018.
for 18, how many is it? Yes, 18 as well. I think we need to have Kevin Weller and interim director
You said
Finch.
January of 2018. Okay. There's like 5 of them.
Yes, January, all of 2016.
Okay. No, she said January 2018. There's 5 plus 2 is 7, I think.
Right, but
And then you have August and September. I don't understand September.
I mean, the ones from 2018, late 2018, those are probably realistic. The ones from 2016, honestly, those are so old that I would just rather have us verify that those are correct. So if we could do the removal of the 2016 S&K, if we can remove the 2017 Sam's Club Direct and the 2018 Sam's Club Direct, from the accounts payable, and that's my motion.
Okay, so, sorry, I think we need to talk specific dollar amounts.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm looking at, on page 3, at the top, it has estimation, Security Corp, all of 2016 up to, 2000, the next one is 2018 January. So you want to remove all those. That's, I'll just go by invoice number. Invoice number 108961 all the way down to 115.
Well, there's also some on the previous page, on the bottom of page 2.
I'm gonna go to the next
Oh,
page.
okay,
So that will take care of that page.
correct.
No, because there's one there from December that from November of 2018, I took you over. 109524 should be the last one on page 3, right?
Correct, we can keep 109,525 in there. That's probably realistic. Then starting again with 115021 down to 115924. Those can
That's
be
on,
page 3.
that's on page 8, isn't it?
No, page 3.
Oh, okay.
So there's 9 on
That-
page 3
okay.
that would get pulled.
Okay,
Correct.
let's say that. I'm
And
sorry,
then
page 3,
on-
and then over to page 4, all the way down to January 2018, correct?
Page 4.
Page 2. Page 2, you have
And
estimate.
then 3, I'm sorry.
Correct.
Page 2,
So
at the
page,
bottom, and then page 3.
correct.
Okay. All the way down to January of 2018, correct?
Well, no, I don't want to skip the 109,525. That can stay in there. That's in the middle. It's in November 8th, 2018, 3850.
No, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
It's stuck in the middle
Right.
of 16 and,
Oh,
Yeah, that's 2018.
yeah, it's stuck in the middle.
oh, I see.
There's no numbers.
3850,
That's not
okay.
it.
Correct.
All right. Okay, then okay, now I see, okay. And then also on page,
And then also in the back on page 8, I believe,
page 8, right.
all the ones from 2016. So we're starting with 105,295,
Okay,
all the way down to 109,373.
okay. And then also you want the other two, that's 115020, because that's.
Yes, that's January 20. Yes,
And then
those.
115042.
Correct, those as well.
And then also, you want Sam's, the membership fee that's dated 1/11/2018?
Well, the one is October 27th of 2017. Below that?
Yes, that's the truck and treat, yeah. You want
That's
that?
from 2017.
Right, you want
so-
that, you want that?
Yeah, that
taken
should
out
be
too.
removed.
Okay.
So which Sam's Clubs are we removing?
This one that's the membership fee.
The 105.
The 105.
And I'm betting that one is probably a fat finger, and it's probably 111 2019, but okay.
And then you have the,
$50 one from January of 2018 as well, from January 13. That should be removed.
okay, that's service fee.
You're
Yes.
saying all 4 of those?
Correct. Well, no, because I want to keep the one from January 13, 2019
Yeah.
there.
And then you want to remove the trunk or treat one,
Correct.
October 2017.
And then we
correct?
should look into the refunded by check.
I don't know what that is, but I'll have them look into that. I don't know what that means, refunded by check, so whatever, but I'll have them look at that. That won't be paid out until, now all these won't be paid out until, we find out what's going on, you'll find out what's happening. So those checks will be.
I'm confused. So you still want us to approve for the full amount, but, or are you wanting us to pull them and not even pay them?
Right. He wants them not to be paid.
Correct. I don't want them to be paid. Yes.
So yes, I don't have a calculator to take away the amount from the 412,000, but those checks will be held and not paid until notified, and you guys get a notification. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I also would like a copy of all these invoices for SK Security Corp. So I can take a look at them also to find out. I mean, those are quite a few invoices from 2016. So I'd like to know where they've been and they haven't been on the.
That's what we're going to do.
So I'd like a copy of the invoice.
That's what we're talking about doing, having to look at those invoices before they get a chance. And all the trustees can get a copy of those invoices, so you can better understand in those 2016 and 2017 and 18.
In addition to the SK security, I'd like copies of the invoices for Dr. Strotter.
That's not part of this motion. We're doing the motion.
We can do that one.
No, I mean, this is the motion that we're motioning to take this out of the House table. That's what's on the floor right now. Okay.
And you said I can't request something else?
We're dealing with a motion right now. So this has nothing to do with that motion. Right now, we're trying to pass the motion. There's a motion on the floor. It has to be passed first. So,
okay.
Then the other, okay.
That's it.
Madam Clerk, I'm sorry. Madam Trustee, would you please call the roll?
Todd?
So this is just to remove the items, is that correct?
Yes, right.
Okay, yes.
Well, I'm sorry, so actually, I think we had both trustees rescind their motion.
They did.
All right, so we do.
So we need a motion.
So-
Okay, well, he made the motion.
I made the motion, there needs to be a
But
second.
he needs a second. I'm sorry, he did make the motion, and he named everything that he needed to take out. Is there a second? Okay, well, moved by trustee Grant, second by trustee Carter, for the removal of the items that were listed, that we just talked about, out of the accounts payable. Okay, now, Madam Trustee, could you please call the roll?
Todd?
Yes.
Brewer?
Yes.
Tates?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Zupan? Yes. Grant?
Yes.
All right, motion carried. Your request that you're asking for, I think you gave me something in email something to that effect, trustees. So
Here's a list of,
I said you emailed it to me.
here's your list, just in case you don't have it. And I'd like a copy of all those invoices listed on the accounts payable. I'll be more of a copy.
I stated, you sent an email stating all this.
Well, just make sure you get emails, because I don't know.
If I didn't get the email, I wouldn't be able to answer that. I wouldn't be able to answer.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't want it, just leave it there.
I did.
Okay. So anyway, I sent a list of email to the mayor and the village clerk for copies of some information on accounts payable for different items. I want to take a look at all those invoices that I listed on that memo. And I'd like to have those as soon as possible.
The list is lengthy. As you know, we are right now in an emergency mode, so I'm not going to be able to tell you when all these things can be given back to you, but we will work on it. And you also have a FOIA that has some of these things that are on there, because I'm looking at some of these things that are here that you FOIA. So that being,
ongoing thing, you get the same companies generally every month, so that's not what's on there. It has never been on there before. Those pertain to the current
trustee,
house payable.
why didn't I say something that all I'm doing is answering the questions that you have?
Well, I'm trying to straighten them.
You don't have to straighten the count.
Well, all right, let's go on
Okay,
then.
thank you.
All right,
So I'm
okay.
saying that this list is rather lengthy. It's not going to be done overnight. These things will be taken care of, and we have to do it as we can. We have things that we have day-to-day operations. To stop and do all these different things for right now, to tell you it's going to be ready next week, I will be facetious in saying that. We will be working on these different items for the invoices, and I'm sure you have gotten some of these things already, and now you're referencing all. It was dates, now it's all. I don't understand what all in Robinson Engineering invoices. What date are you going back to? All McCain County invoices. What date are you going back to?
Those listed on February 26th.
That doesn't say, okay. All right. Anybody, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Brewer, trustee Zupan, and seconded by trustee Carter. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. I still have these applications. If anybody would like to pick up an application for the electrical union.